What's up, guys? I know it's kind of late at night, and most people are probably sleeping by the time I put this up, but this is on my mind anyways, and I kind of wanted to talk about it. Not giving you any inclination as to what I think is coming, but I think it's going to be good. So I want to talk about this. It's not a fun thing to talk about. Well, maybe it is. But I do want to discuss it because I think this is important. And I don't want people walking away from this in a way where they feel dissatisfied. I want to talk about what I think the top is going to look like on this next run-up. I've been around now for two major cycles on AMC. I watched January, watched it come up to $25 and do some crazy shit. And I watched it come up to $70 and do some crazy shit. And I think I've learned a little bit since then about the way that this stock moves. And I want to be able to discuss with you what I think that's going to look like. There's a couple of key factors. Before I get into this, I'd like to preface by saying I'm not financial advice. Please take it with a grain of salt. Volume. Candles. And this is going to be really important with a squeeze play. Short-term time frame. 1 minute to 5 minute. This is where short term is going to matter. And you're going to know the time is coming when you're watching volume go absolutely fucking nuts. We, the last 2 days, have seen the volume at 212 million and 226 million total volume on the day, right? That's a crap ton of volume. No. I'm talking like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I would even lean towards this 500 to 700 million total volume on the day. What I'm looking for specifically, you're going to want two different chart time frames, right? This is going to be a daily, and beneath this is going to be a 1 minute. I'm watching for something like this. So far, if you look at the candles, right, what you can see is that price is trending upwards. If we were to draw a line, you can see that price is overall trending in an upward direction, right? Means that it's gaining momentum. Increasing volume means increasing momentum in whatever direction the stock is pushing, and right now the stock is pushing up, which means there's an increase in momentum. There's definitely you're seeing an increase in demand. That's what volume is, right? It's just a way to represent demand in whatever stock you're in, right? You're seeing that go up, right? So just going to hypothetically draw some candles here. You see this candle, this candle, this candle, this candle, huge candle, rest candle, whatever, right? And down here is volume. If this is all price, this is price going up, this is volume. What you're seeing right now is this, right? Candle bar of volume, candle bar of volume, candle bar of volume, candle bar of volume. They're all going up, right? Maybe not all the same. Maybe you get little dips here, but overall you can see the trend. Trend is going upwards. I'm looking for two things. One, closing bar of volume. And I'm going to show you an example. Closing bar. Two, downtrend volume. I've watched this happen twice now. Both times did the exact same thing. Closing bar volume. What does that look like? Well, you're going to notice if you go back to January or you go back to June that the highest price point had the most volume. It's not a coincidence. It's because there was a lot of strength. There's a lot of demand. That does make sense. Back in January, it was 1.2 billion shares. Back in June, it was 757 million shares. Now, you might actually see less than that this time around because I think the price is going to go higher, right? That just means it's going to take more money to move the stock. So inherently, you may see less overall share volume, but it's all relative, right? That's why I give a range. I'm looking for like 500, 600, 700 million total shares. I think that's what it's going to end up being. Maybe even 4. I don't know. But I think 500, 600, 700 million. That's sort of where I'm leaning right now. So I'm looking for that closing bar, which is the most volume that you've seen relative. And typically it's going to be a lot higher than relatively speaking what you've seen in the past. And if you don't get a closing bar, like this, for example, this is very hard to tell if this is a closing bar or not outside of this rejection. You're looking for this downtrend, which is number 2. Off of that day, you see a downtrend in volume on the daily, right? Downtrend in volume. Off this, downtrend in volume. That tells you that this is the closing bar volume, and that was the peak. That was the top. It's hard to know when you're in the moment, right? But you can take an estimated guess based on just understanding how volume exhaustion works. You can't continue to maintain an insane amount of volume for a long period of time. So I'll be watching for a closing bar of volume. This is on the daily candle setup, which is what I just showed you, and a downtrend in volume, right? Next thing I'm going to be looking for is this, 1 minute. And this comes down to not volume. This comes down to candles. So I want to show you this here really quick. This is what I think the 1 minute is going to look like when the time comes. Now, I'm not telling you any dates. I'm not giving you this. I'm not giving you that. But what I am saying is the chart is set up in a way that I think you're going to see some pretty nice moves in the near future. Hey, buddy. Get down. So I'm watching for this, right? In the past 2 run-ups, the same exact thing has happened. You reach a high, and the stock comes up to retest that high and rejects off that high. In an insanely volatile move. You look back on January, it was a 300% move. You look back in June, it was a 95% move, right? Watch for that. That is, you're going to know. You're going to know because this is going to be outside of the ordinary. When a stock goes up 100% and you've got this much volume, you know what's happening. You absolutely, without a doubt, know that you're in the middle of a melt up. You're in the middle of a run up, right? Both times I've seen this, right? Back in January, I'm going to draw this up. I'm going to paint out the picture. If this over here is extended hours trading, this is normal hours trading, right? What I noticed happen is the stock runs up, ran up, 25 bucks. There was obviously some small dips in here, maybe a little dip here, maybe a little dip here, whatever. But it peaks out at about 25 bucks. And it then rejects. Bam. Sells off super hard. What ended up happening though? If you look back at the candle, what you notice is that it came back to $20. It actually closed at $20. It did reach 25 in the pre-market. It doesn't show that because that was the pre-market. But nonetheless, what you notice is that it tried to retest highs after selling off all the way to 1094. You got to be prepared for that, first off, right? That sort of insane volatility is going to happen. Ran up to 25 bucks, sold off, came down to about $10, closed at 20. So what's the overall theme, right? It set a high of 25 bucks, rejected off that, retraced insanely. You got scooped up by a huge amount of volume surge, demand surge to come up and retest that high at 25 bucks, rejected at 20. So what that means is I personally believe you're going to have on the day of 2 chances to catch close to the top. Now, I don't encourage you to try to time the top. Don't do it. Please, because it's impossible to do. The reason I bring this up is because I think this is going to give you an inclination as to where the high is going to be for this next overall run-up. June, same exact thing happened. I remember this so vividly. You had a massive run-up, 72 bucks. Over here is extended hours trading. Pretty straightforward stuff. And what happens is it runs up to 72 bucks. Bad news comes out. It retraces, comes into the open. This is $72 right here, right? Retraces all the way back down to the 30s. And what happened? Same fucking thing as January. Comes back up to test out to see if it can come and reclaim that high in the 60s. And it rejected. Now, granted, in June, you had a lot more opportunity. We can come and look at the June chart, and it hung on. I mean, you got a lot of opportunity in this June run-up to look at the 60s or whatever and do what you want with calls or whatever the hell. But nonetheless, that was there, right? It came back up to the 60s same day. So why do I bring this up? I bring this up because I know there are people playing calls right now. I know there are. It's without a shadow of a doubt. Every single day for the last 2 days, I don't know why I said every single day, but the last 2 days, we have traded over 1 million contracts. Not all of that's institutions. A lot of that is retail, right? And I think you're going to have 2 chances on the day of to lock in those profits. Please, I make this video at 10:20 at night because this is what I'm thinking about right now. Too many people were up 4, 5, 6, 10,000% that were up, some $1 million, some $100,000 that walked away with a tenth of that. Do not diamond hand options. Please. Options do not work like stock. Lock in your money. That's all that I'm asking for. And let me tell you, this is not financial advice, but I will shed a fucking tear if I see people up that much money that don't keep it. Options are not stock. I don't think we're there yet. I don't think you've seen the top of this momentum, this run up. I think you're on your way. Let me tell you when I say I can shed a tear right now at how excited I am. The way this is set up. I don't think tomorrow's gonna be sexy. I think it's gonna be a rest day, to be honest. Maybe a move, but I think it's gonna be a rest day. Maybe slightly green, slightly red, somewhere in the middle. But I bring this up because this is gonna be important, man. Watch this 2, 3, 4 times through if you have to. Volume, closing bar, daily candles, right? Watch for this. Watch for that. Watch for the downtrend, downtrending volume. That is going to tell you that demand is leaving. 1,000,000%, right? This right here. From there, January and June, third time's going to be a pattern, right? I think you're going to get a couple chances. Two. You're gonna see it hit that high. Bam, that's the level. It's gonna come up and retest and likely reject the day of. So watch for that, my friends. Now, I don't know. Maybe I'm just a goon. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But I want to put this out there because I want you guys to walk away with some fucking money. Go do fucking ape things, dude. Eat some bananas. Make your cash. Protect yourselves with your options. If you have options right now, be careful. Be careful. Make that tendies. Make those lemon pepper tendies. That's what I've got for this video. I know this was out of the blue. I don't typically throw shit up at this time of night, but this is on my mind. I've been looking at charts for the last couple hours, and this feels important. It feels important. And I know people don't like anything to do with this could be it, you know? But if it is, you can't say that I didn't put it out there, okay? That's all I got. That's all I got. I'm going to eat the rest of my chili cheese dog. I'll catch you guys all later. Appreciate you. Much love, late taps. Peace.